Ahoy everybody, here's Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models. A very happy 4th of July to all. This is a very special occasion for our independence on the 4th of July, and it must be never forgotten. Never. You got too many people died with a flag like that behind me, and also other nationalities. Same thing in England. A lot of people lost their lives for their country too. So it's time we all reunite as the 4th of July of independence, of manhood. And please have a safe 4th of July too, fellas out there. You got families out there. You got barbecues and outings to go to. Kind of, watch the kids. Kids get into mischief. I know I used to. I got my hide tan for it too. Okay, the topic of this video for Sunday: 93 degrees out there with 70-something% humidity. Whew, hot. I have for you video number 2 for Freddy Duarte's Black Pearl by Zevesda, a company out of Russia. And Freddy gave me this kit. He said, "Frank, see if you can make this thing work." So he said, "This is way out of my alley." He gave me a little beautiful note that he wrote me. And he says, "This kit's out of my alley, and you're stuck with it, and see what you can do with it." And believe you me, I'm gonna have a ball with this thing. I truly am. It's slow going together, but it's going together the way I pictured it in my skull. I could not see leaving this thing all gray plastic and all black, because all pirate ships weren't that. They were not painted that way. I mean, a lot of people see pictures of these things dark and godly looking. That's not so. Most privateers are very well kept, clean ships. They didn't make them look shaggy, raggedy, and everything else. They kept them pretty clean. And a lot of the privateers were kind of traded off in a pirate trade. They would take your vessel for hours. And a lot of them just kept on changing vessels all the time. It's kind of like a security measure, but that way, when they were reported at sea of piracy, they can't ever identify the ship that did it, and I don't know. But anyway, make a long story short, this is going to be a good video on this here Black Pearl. I was thinking about giving it a different pirate name, so no, I'll just call it the Black Pearl. That's big, and that's good enough as it is. Okay. When I first got this thing, I took it out of the box. I painted the inside of the bulwarks. It's kind of like a rustic red color. The same thing they use in an English man of wars, like the Victory. They painted inside the bulwarks there to let men, if there's any blood like that, it won't discourage them like this. But they see blood all over the place like that, they get very, it makes them nervous. So by having, at the psychology, you have that red paint against the bulwark, so is there any blood going on around that, it'll camouflage with the paint and won't discourage the sailors. Also, the gun carriages are painted that color too, on 17th century ships. And I put stain on the midships of the hull after painting it, airbrushing it. XS60 Tamiya Texas yellow has a good base coat. Now I went back over with my shellac. And the rest of the hull was painted on this flat brown XF10 by Tamiya. Then I toned it down with Humbro 71 oak. I airbrushed this whole thing with this airbrush that I received from Harbor Freight. I got a compressor. It took a crap on me. It crapped out. So I went down to Harbor Freight and got another compressor, and it came with the airbrush kit. Came with two. This is probably about a $20 airbrush, but I tell you one thing, guys, it has a 3mm needle, 3mm needle in it. And this thing does a good job, it really does. But on my Harbor Freight, I had to adjust my air pressure because it goes up 58 psi. That's way too much pressure for a compressor like that. You can blow out the rings and everything in it. So what I do, you got a trap down there, just adjust your pressure. You bring the pressure down to 15 psi. And I use this airbrush. Works beautiful. I think I'll use it from now on instead of my Pache or my Awana. Nothing wrong with that airbrush. Anyway, I painted the inside of the bulwarks with this. It's coming out pretty good. We're going to go around and we're going to swing about and take a look at the Black Pearl in her phase of construction, show you what Frankie Day has done. There's exploded views of what the decks I've done. I took a decks here and I painted it with deck tan, XF55 by Tenea. This is good stuff. This is pretty close to ivory. Years ago, I used to paint my decks ivory. Then with a, when I was younger, I used to do that. I used to take a bland deck, sand off all the wood grain off of it, and airbrush it with ivory paint, let it dry, and using a mechanical pencil like that, and a steel rule, I drew my own lines on it, very fine lines. And my old model building technique my dad taught me. Anyway, it's an airbrush with this. And I went ahead and put a stain on the deck. It really brings out the woodwork, as you can see. All those combings around the hatchways got to be painted. They'd be painted burnt sienna. Same thing was treated on the hull. I painted the hull flat white with a tinge of brown in it. Then I put a stain on it. There's that inside the bulwark. It's red inside there. You can see how I toned down the brown. There's a stain on the little stripe right there where the gun bays are at, shutter bays are at. They gave me a nice little stand. But truthfully, guys, this is not a bad model, to tell you the truth. You know, Vel's got this. I imagine it's a reboxing of Zevesda. I imagine that's, this whole true, that's what it is, reboxing. They probably made so many of them, they turn the nails in. They're always buying each other's molds and things and reboxing it. So that's about as far as I got in this jewel. She's very pretty. What I'm going to do, this thing is, it's plastic and it has a little bit of, not too much weight to it. So I'm going to fill this whole hull inside there with BBs. Then I'm going to pour some epoxy over the BBs to seal to the plastic. Then when that's done, I'm going to go ahead and slip this deck on here. That's your main cargo deck right there, your spar deck. Then I'll go down below. Of course, this will be your well deck up here. Like so, like that. So I got that shaking right there. So I'll go ahead and next step is I'll put some BBs in there and whip up a good batch of 5 ml epoxy and pour it inside there, let it harden up, and I got some weight to this thing, ain't gonna go nowhere. But I bumped it a couple of times and I had really fast reflexes. I caught it, almost hit the ground. If it hit the ground, it never would have broke, you know. But I just elected to go ahead and put some weight to it. And I think it'll be quite efficient for my needs. Okay, as far as I got on it, guys, I'm gonna go back over and do some touch-up painting here. I see some those boarding ways got to be painted a little more. I see a couple of holidays there. I'm constantly going over this thing, just touching up painting here or there. So that's about how it's gonna look, and it sure beats being all black and all gray. An overall appeal of this kit, it's a very nice kit. It's very well engineered, and the parts of this thing fit very, very well without fuss. So if you have one of these jewels in your collection or built one, do build it, and I'd sure like to see your guys' Black Pearl. One fellow did one almost like this in the paint schedule. I think he changed the name to the White Pearl. Now, he did a pretty good job on it. Pretty good job. He did an excellent job. And, so this here has come out equally well. And so I got a lot of painting to do on this thing. That little touch-up painting after I put the BBs in there. I'll be ready to venture on to more work. Okay. We're going to turn this camera back to yours truly, finish up the video. Today's 4th of July. My boss wanted me to come into work today and do some cleaning around the galley of the kitchen there. I said, okay, I'll go there. Wow. I made a few bucks. And now I'm just taking the rest of the day off. Right across from my house, probably about 200 meters from my house. It's the Moraine City State Park out there. And they got the city building, everything there. And every 4th of July, they have a beautiful fireworks display right from my house. I can watch right through the window. When my Ruthie was with me before she passed, we used to go out in the backyard, put lawn chairs out there, drink iced tea out there, and watch them shoot those fireworks up. And, whew, man, they sure that's so impressive what's going on. They're really nice. When the grand finale came, pop, 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 pop. Boy, it sounded like incoming. Music to my ears. So that's about all I got for this evening, for this 4th of July, guys. And I'd really like to, again, caution everybody out there on the 4th of July with fireworks. Make sure that your children are well supervised handling fireworks. And doing this and playing around with fireworks, you get in some trouble. So I know a lot of people got sense enough not to do stuff like that. Little ones, they love fireworks. I know I used to, especially those little sprinklers used to have. And Roman candles, they're neat. Also bottle rockets, them things are crazy. A lot of stuff out there. So please, please, please be careful out there. Enjoy your 4th of July. And our country, you know, is very, very dim right now. I've never seen a nation so divided in my life. It was worse than the Civil War. It's just like we're being invaded by an enemy. Virtually we are. But it'll blow over like a storm. This happened in years past. We're just all just caught up in it. I imagine stuff like this happens every 100 years. So it'll blow over and things will be okay. And please, please be careful wherever you are. Be observant of your surroundings and you'll be all right. Okay, time to get out of here. I didn't get a chance to get the final reveal for the Martin Mars and also my PS1 flying boat. I'll have that one day next week, guys. I've been putting on some overtime for a while. And I got a lot of things, priorities I got to get taken care of. It's kind of pushed behind the bench a little bit, and I try to catch up. So have a little patience and perseverance, and I'll have the final reveal for those two subjects. But right now I'm 22 on this, and so I should have another video of this coming up probably one day next week also. Incidentally, I'll have some pictures posted of this on Facebook. Okay, that's about all I can do for today, guys. I'm going to sit back and just take the rest of the day off and build the Black Pearl. And again, I'd like to thank Freddy, Mr. Freddy Duarte, for sending me this kit, let me have this. And I'm very, very honored. He's a great friend, he's a great person, and he's a very generous person. And I just wish he wasn't from such a faraway place. And, so as long as you got YouTube and the internet, a far away place is just just like as distant as your next door neighbor. Okay, that'll be it. Take care of mama. Take care of the babies. Take care of yourselves. Focus when you drive. Watch your surroundings. And be careful. Spend wisely. Build a model. Please enjoy this 4th of July. And please, 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 watch your step. And watch your little ones. Make sure they don't get their hands burned. You don't need that. No one needs that. Happy 4th of July, everybody. God bless you. This is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models signing off. God bless you, fellas.